All right, so we're doing some shady shit here. It is just as sketchy as you think it is, but it should work. Hopefully. There's tons of room. I'm already thinking about that.
It's got to go. It's got to go.
Well, so I was going to move the battery and do
put that shit in the trunk too.
a manifold, flip the manifold, and it comes out and it lays like right here. And then I was thinking do a round pipe and then fucking here, or I don't think I need twins.
No, you don't need twins. Just with this motor and this car, you could do a small single and it would be fun.
Yo, and this thing fucking rolls so, like just pushing it around, it rolls so good.
That motor with 500 horsepower in this car is going to be stupid.
Yeah.
So it like you can do a tiny turbo, a single tiny turbo on that thing, and
spool not because it'll spool fast.
But I would get, since you're rewiring everything, I would get rid of that fucking shit anyway.
It's tight, the firewall.
Back there?
Yeah.
That's actually got quite a bit of room. We had it way tighter at one point.
So it's good.
Yeah.
Is that battery gonna be enough?
That battery's going bye-bye anyhow. It's just sitting there.
Route it in the back.
Probably? I don't know. Because this is all going bye-bye too, so I think this is where the turbo's going to live.
You have a lot of room there.
There's tons of room.
You may have, no, you don't have more room than I do. It just looks like you do.
I have more room in places.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Tight on that side.
Yeah, that's the one that's the only one I care about.
Tight, dude.
Yeah. All right, so I have every single clamp in the garage set up on here, and it's kind of working for now. So we'll see how it goes. Hopefully this cuts through, but it's sketchy. As soon as I say that, it gives up on me. Piece of hot metal in my mouth. Not cool. All right, so the camera died and I did a bunch more work. So I have everything cleaned up here and all ready to weld. I'll rust off. And I got this bad boy right here. I just need to clean up the edges a little more in some spots I didn't clean it up everywhere. And then she fits right up in there. You gotta get it to the right spot. But yeah, she fits right up in there, and we'll show you some more once I tack it all together and get going on it. But I've already checked it in the car, and it has the right relationship to where I want the down pipe to come. So that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start tacking her up and making her fit. All right, so all right, so we got her all done. Whoa. Came out pretty nice. All welded up and cleaned up and smoothed down and looking good. Just got that little spot underneath there where you can see the weld. Came out pretty nice, if I do say so myself. And then you can see down in there, kinda. But yeah, that'll work good for what we want to do. It gives us a little dump out, dumps it down to where we want it, and go from there. So that is the driver's side manifold, started at least, and then I got to build crossover tube, and still got to figure out where the hell I want to put the turbo. But tomorrow I'm going to go to the junkyard, see about sourcing a new rear end for the car, and then also need to source another header. I need another I need a center dump, I believe is what I'm going to look for. It'll let me do what I need to do. That's a rough location. Probably end up coming straight down and making a down pipe underneath here. And then meeting up somewhere over here where I'm gonna put a turbo, not unlike that one, somewhere in this location. But I need to find a header with some sort of central dump on this side so I can come forward. We'll see, I don't know. Or a rear dump that goes down. I don't know exactly, so I gotta figure that out still. But that's what I'll look for when I'm in the junkyard tomorrow. And we'll go from there. But all right, so we got the Subaru back in. And we are playing with exhaust again. So I got that one all turned down, done up the other day, and then I went to the junkyard the other day and picked up another one, same side. And then I cut the flange off, and then I've got just a piece of pipe sitting on here because, you know, I'm trying to mock some things and figure out what we're doing for that. So I got another piece of pipe with the collector here. This is all these pieces of pipe that you see that we're playing with right now. That's all stuff off of the exhaust from the Catalanche that we pulled off way back in the day when we took the exhaust off so we'd make it louder and it would sound cooler. So I'm trying to reuse every bit of piping and everything that we got laying around. I'm not trying to spend any money on this turbo kit realistically. So far I've been using piping and everything I've been finding. I've got, this is the piece I cut off of the flange when I made the log style one. And then this is the one I just cut off of the new one. So I got two of those laying around now, which I don't know what the heck I'll do with, but I got those. I got some old V-bands that I think we got from Joe's car when we got the Pontiac. So I might be using that because I do want to be able to make this easy to take on and off. But I still need a T4 plate, which I have one off of Joe's, which we're not going to reuse for Joe's setup, so I don't know what I'm doing there yet. I also don't know exactly how we're setting the turbo. For right now, I just got it sitting right here. And I don't know what the exact plan is going to be with that, but I also do know that the downpipe is going to be an issue with this setup we have here. So I don't know exactly what I'm doing here. I might take the downpipe and go through right here and then just have to squeeze it. So put it in the vise and basically oblong it so it can fit down through there and then, you know, go down to what it goes to. But right now, I think about here is where I want it. Essentially something like this, and then the cold side piping can go down and into our intercooler. I think I'm not 100% right now. I don't know. So that's what I'm basically doing is I need to cut this to basically fit up to this somehow. So this will sit essentially, well, end up being a little further back, realistically, somewhere in this range. And then turned a bit so that we can bring our crossover tube and whatnot. So this is all 3-inch pipe. It's 2.5-inch pipe coming out of the header, which is the same here. I was just able to get it to fit onto that one. This one will be 2.5 until it goes into the flex, and then from the outside of the flex through in will be 3-inch, and that should give us enough. And then it gives us plenty of space to mount our blow off. I'll probably put somewhere on this T, or realistically, I don't really know exactly where I'm going to put that. We are going to end up running water pump. I think we're going to put our alternator over here. I got a relocation bracket left over from Joe's car. I'll end up putting there, I think. And then I think we'll run our power steering pump right here. And that keeps everything up and out of the way of the turbo and everything. Because this, I'm going to end up coming down and go up underneath the pulley. So basically we'll have just like a little V set up on the pulleys, or W, I guess, because it'll come up and go down and back up again. I don't know exactly. We might change the pulley out and go to a different style pulley instead of the truck pulley. Still, I'm making this up as I go along. And it ends up changing 4 or 5, 10 times as we go. So, been doing a lot of work on this off camera, but I mean, it's a lot of cutting and stuff that I don't know that you guys necessarily want to see. Let me know if you guys want to see more of the actual tedious stuff, but I don't think you guys want to watch it. But I'll try to get a little better about checking in more often instead of at the big points, kind of like we're doing now. But so that's where we're at. I gotta make some adjustments and figure some things out with this turbo setup. I don't know if this is the turbo I'm gonna run, but it's a big turbo, so if I can get away with mounting this one, I could go to a Borg Warner or something like that down the road. I think this is a 80 mil, something along that, you know, DNA cheapo. It's the one off Joe's car. It's good sized. So if I can make this work, I can make other turbos work, I'm pretty sure. But, so yeah, that's gonna be the plan. I gotta get basically, I gotta get that Y and that manifold together. I'm gonna make this all one piece, and then it'll V-band at the top here into our T4 flange. I'm pretty sure I'll end up V-banding, or might make it one piece and it'll just V-band from here to that one for the crossover. So I'm trying to get away with 1 or 2 V-bands on this thing, and that to be it. But so I gotta trim that pipe down, I gotta do some angle cuts and all that stuff and get that all fit up, and then start tackling and welding some stuff. So I'll check back in with you guys when we get things cut to the right angles and when we're gonna tack it, and then we'll go from there. All right, so this is our little rough fitment. This fits in about like so, which gives us a nice level area right there. Hold it right, which then will allow us to put a nice 90 right onto here, right into our flange. So, or am I holding this upside down? I am holding it upside down wrong. No wonder. All right, so realistically, that puts me way too far this way. Maybe I did have it the right way. All right, so we got to refigure this because I tweaked some things for some things and I didn't mean to, I think. All right, so that bad boy sits just like so, and then our turbo piping can come boom right into that. I think we're going to be okay with that. So we're going to give it a shot. At least that's the plan. But that's what I'm about to do. Got all my cuts, got all my pieces figured out. I'm just gonna tack it together, and then we'll take it over and we'll clean it up nice, grind everything clean, and do some good welds. Right now, like I said, we're just tacking together to see if this is even gonna work or not. So I'll let you guys take a look at it once I tack it together. So we got the pipe hooked up. Got it all welded into the manifold there. Angle here. All welded up, nice through pipe, so we'll be able to come up, and obviously I got to cut this down a lot, but basically we'll come up and do an elbow right into the turbo flange, and then we'll take another piece and cut some angles and whatnot on it and send that up underneath the front here. Our alternator will live somewhere right about where it's sitting right now, give or take. Power steering will go over here somewhere. Got our water pump. Obviously that'll live a little more like so, but you know. But yeah, so our piping should be far enough away from the alternator to not cause any problems. And all this is gonna get heat wrapped anyhow. The turbo will get a blanket, and then everything will be hidden behind the light here. We're gonna end up being the turbo sitting on or about right here. Give or take, maybe a bit of an angle, and then our down pipe will come out and go down through the hole there. This is a 3-inch tube, so a 3-inch down pipe will do just fine. I believe the big down pipe we had before was a 3.5. I don't know, so I know I can at least get a 3-inch down pipe down the back. This opening seems to be a, I'd say 3.5. So yeah, the back of the turbo's outlet is a 3.5. So we'll see if I can get a 3.5 pipe. I may have to massage it a little to fit through my holes down there and make it down to where we want to go back with the piping, but we'll see. Also, that gives us plenty of room for the wastegate, and we can actually put the wastegate off of that T somewhere, drill in and, you know, cope a pipe into it and call it a day. Probably just end up shooting that straight to atmosphere. and then we'll go from there. Or otherwise, or we could do it off the top and make it follow down pipe. I'm not 100%, but we'll get to that. And then we'll bring our turbo piping, the cold side out, down and around, however we need to get into where our intercooler is going to go. And then we'll probably come out and around and back up into here somehow. Which is why I kind of want to keep that tight. So I might actually go underneath the oil pan where the brackets are. Well, no, I don't want to go. No. I don't want to go that far because that'll mess up our sway bar placement, which I still have to figure out what we're doing for a sway bar. But lots of things to figure out. So that's where we got for today. We'll keep pressing on the next one and hopefully figure out how we're going to make all this work. But for right now, I'm into this whole turbo piping kit, everything, a total of $35. And that's what it cost me for that manifold I got out of the junkyard. Everything else is Joe's turbo, so I'm just using that for mock-up. Haven't paid for that yet, but I will need a turbo. Exhaust from the Catalanche that was left over from when the car I got the motor from. So realistically, that's not costing me anything. That's from the Catalanche, so that's good. The motor mounts from the Catalanche. I mean, we're reusing just about everything we can get our hands on. So, I mean, my idea is to try and do this for as cheap as possible. And so far, it's working out pretty well. But let us know what you guys think in the comments below. Let us know if I'm doing it wrong or, the normal. Anything, really. And we'll check you guys out on the next one.